Hey Groovers, it's the weekend already. Gosh, I've had such a busy week. Honestly, this not spending money thing is speeding up time. Who'd have thought it? The week has gone so quickly. But actually, it's because I'm writing the book, isn't it? I'm a bit late today. I had a bit of a drama this morning with the electrics. But that's all done and dusted. I've popped up a little film, and I wasn't sure where I was going, really, with all this shorts business, you know. I've been trying to make content for a very long time and it's made me very sad. But last night I just thought, well, I'm just going to do this for my Vimeo, for the Academy of Arts TV station, which is over on the website. You can find that. I'll big it up a bit and put it in a more obvious place, because now that I know what I'm going to do, I feel much more confident about, managing all these different facets of the business. So Nigel is one of the characters from yesterday's episode. And I started the illustration after I'd done the publication. The old illustration I couldn't find anywhere. I'd completely lost that chapter. And I'm glad I did, because the old illustration that I had was very cartoon-like. And I can't remember how I made him, but I think I'm pretty sure I got him from Pixabay or somewhere. I hadn't, when I first did this book, I wasn't thinking about doing illustrations per se myself. It seems like an age ago now. Anyway, I thought, I'll just video it, while I was on my Procreate. And it took a while, because drawing does take a while. So I didn't film the whole thing, but when I was doing a bit, I'd just press record on my phone and draw on my iPad. And it worked really, really well. It made something rather exciting. I don't know, I can't tell you why. I didn't have to worry about lighting or anything. I didn't have to get dressed. I didn't have to put makeup on. I didn't have to do 5 retakes. It was really interesting how smooth it all went. And then I just popped it into a bit of software, Petal Clip, and I just sped it up. I had to speed it up twice. And I also had to wait for... I couldn't find the files. And I'm always in a hurry to find the file. And it would appear that on all my tech, all my hardware, the file takes time to appear. And the bigger the file, the longer it takes. So I thought, I couldn't be bothered, and I just thought I'd take a chill pill. I started a different drawing, because I draw every day. And then, lo and behold, it was there when I returned. So I've popped it on YouTube. And guys, you can have this film. And I think a lot of them I'm just going to let people have, because they're promoting, what I do and my business and my art. And I really liked it. It was a bit off balance at times, but I've forgiven myself for that. But the point is, it didn't take too much work or too much effort on my behalf, because drawing isn't an effort for me. It comes very naturally. And I realised that I'd got quite good at Procreate, much better than I thought I was. And it just looked pretty impressive on film. And I was just like, oh, this is just too good to be true. So that's up on the website anyway. And I was thinking about, speeding things up, and how I'd recently come across some information that viewers are watching even TV programmes speeded up. And I thought, well, how do you absorb it? And where I perhaps, a couple of weeks ago, I thought, well, that's really sad that people can't take time to notice. Now I'm thinking, that's like a superhero skill, isn't it? It's a superhero skill. And I wonder if, evolutionarily speaking, our minds are going to speed up. And I got quite excited by this prospect. And I guess, will I be a part of it? Because my brain was born many years ago, decades ago, and was I brought up in the correct way to be able to do this speeding up absorption of information skill, this super skill? No, it doesn't give you the sensory perceptions that music and touching and love and total immersion would give you. However, I put it with a piece of music that was at normal speed, because that's what one does with a short. And the music was very sensual, sensory, inviting, absorbing, all of these things that I try to get with the Book of Immersion. And I was a bit overwhelmed. Guys, I think it's fantastic. I think it's really exciting. And the prospect of absorbing information, because the thing is, it's an instruction video, right? It's a how-to video. And the long version will go up on Vimeo at some point over the weekend. But the short version is all over the internet. I've put it everywhere. I've put it on my Twitter even, so you can download it. But the long version is for people who really need to understand, who are really learning. But the short version shows how I do it. And there are two types of inquirer. There are the people that want to know how it's done, and there are the people who want to learn to do it. And they're two different people. Do you see what I mean? They're two different viewers. They're two different content eaters, devourers. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm really excited by this whole prospect today. Anyway, a lot of the drawings for Immersion are already done, so it's a bit too late to do those. So I thought, well, I'll just do more. I've got the portfolio website now as well to put everything on. So that everything's just somehow naturally falling into place with this new, somewhat speeded up version of myself. And I was thinking about the book. I was thinking how I've been writing it for 2 years. Possibly more actually, 3 maybe. I've been writing it for a very long time, and I was thinking all I've got to show for it are these 18, 19, 20, 21 I think total chapters that can be read in an hour. And I thought, is that all I've got to show for 2 years? But this is what happens in art and writing. People behind the product that is being devoured have squandered their lives on every living moment, 24/7 for 365 days, times 5, times 10. Some books take 10 years to write. Some books take 30 years to write. The labour that's been put into that is in a small rectangular bunch of paper, sheets of paper bound, or on a file on the internet. But far from being disappointed by this and far from being annoyed by it, today I'm feeling totally invigorated by it. I think this is totally and utterly, wonderfully, superbly exciting for us, you and I. Content that can be consumed quickly, but that informs, is not only a superhero skill to devour, but it's a superhero skill to make, let me tell you. But nobody wants to see the labour, nobody wants to see the mistakes, and they did this again, did that again. And I tell you what, I can't be bothered to edit. I mean, speeding things up was enough editing I had yesterday, do you know what I mean? It's just like, no, I don't want any more. I can't be bothered with all that. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And I'm really excited that I've got all the hardware I need. And I'm really excited I can just lie on my bed comfortably with my iPad on my knee, which is where I draw. Drawing in that position for me is the one that works. I'm not going to push my neck to its limits. And I do my planking every day. I'm up to 4 minutes now, guys. My 4-minute plank. I mean, I've been 10 before, so I'm very good at planking. But the planking has perfected my bodies and my bodies? I would love to have 2 bodies. I'd like a spare. Keep it in the cupboard. Get it out, put it on. Oh, that's better, yes. I'd give them both different experiences and measure how they're gearing up to life. Anyway, so what's new? Well, apart from the video, which is about Nigel, and I love him. I absolutely love him. I mean, I think I've drawn on really traditional visionary skills. It's a slightly bigger head, very cartoon-like, but not cartoon-like. because obviously I'm using digital elements, and you move away from that. But I love it. I absolutely love the whole the dimension that using digital software creates. The effects. It's pixels, really. I love pixels. I do. I really like them. I mean, they're annoying when they show too much, but I do like them very, very much. I prefer them to dots at the moment. Dots bore me. They bore me stupid. I want little squares. Oh dear. I'm sure I'll get bored of squares and I'll want to go back to dots at some point. But not for the moment. I'm not an engraver trapped in a Victorian world. It's not me. I've moved forward, guys. I've moved forward. So I'm just about to go and have yoghurt and coffee. And then I'm going to do the next chapter, because it's the penultimate chapter. So we should get it out today. My mum read the whole of yesterday's chapter and said it was exciting. And I thought, oh. But the thing is with my mother, she's got these stock things that she says to me. And I suspect my daughters do it to me. But my mother's stock answers are, oh, it was very, very interesting. Or that means that it was weird, by the way. I have to translate. And yesterday's, she said, it was so exciting. And that means she read the last paragraph. She didn't read any other bits. And it ended on a very slight cliffhanger. Now, what I've tried to do with all of these chapters is end on a slight cliffhanger. But there's one chapter, I think it's the sleeping chapter, I think it's number 16, that's had loads and loads of hits. And I know not why that would more than the other chapters. Anyway, my Telltale Club website yesterday had an incredible amount of attention. And I have no idea why. I mean, all I did yesterday was what did I do? I can't even remember what I did. But I suppose it's all coming from my YouTube, because I've uploaded all these thousands of books. So I guess it's all starting to turn around. The other thing I did was the app. I've put the app everywhere, and this is a free app. I mean, do you know what? At the start of the year, when I did that whole Be Famous in 365 Days, do you recall? And I lasted a week following the programme. Well, one of the programmes was give the people something. And I thought that meant of myself, and I really didn't like that. But they're getting a free app and a free book. So, and I'm still carrying that through. And I will forever, no doubt. I don't want people to have to worry about not being able to read my stories. I think that's silly. And I'm using the ad revenue model. So nothing wrong with that. And royalties for my music, obviously. So I have got a business model, but I'm also giving all this stuff away. So you get free stories and you get free music. So the app is the Rife Vibe app, and that's for music therapy healing. So if I get the book done in good time, I'll go and do I'll do some more music. I've got some ideas for, my next healing recording. And they're a completely different genre to the book, the musical, from the music from the books. So guys, whoopee. So telltaleclub.com, you know that by now, yeah? iServalan.com, you should know that by now as well. Losing my way a bit with that, because it was mostly about clothes and fashion design and textiles, which I'm not doing anymore. So I'm not quite sure what to do with iServalan. But as a brand, I should say. I mean, we've got a show. This show is called iServalan, so it's not a problem. And she's very, very much into AI. But I might think of something that just she can do with AI in a future time, after this 4-month stretch of no shopping, adding things to my shopping cart that I'm going to buy in 4 months, and just getting my head down to writing the book of immersion. Dun, 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 dun.